Hello and welcome to the top 5 tips for the brand new game mode in-game called Fantastic Force Recruitment. So tip number 1 is knowing your suits. Like looking at the champions I've got right now, or cards, however you want to look at it, and go, oh yes, I can see I've got 9, 10, 11, but I also have 2 3s. If you click where the arrow is, the points icon, you'll be able to see various combinations of suits and setups that you can use to, well, get the best score. Of course, you want to hit up right at the top areas because that's where the best points are. Now, if you've played poker before, you'll certainly know about trying to, well, you can't get rid of your cards, obviously, depending on the poker game. You might choose to flop and fold. Mainly fold, not flop. Well, you will do feel like it's a flop, but it's a fold. And of course, drawing new cards brings you to the possibilities of other combinations. I could be very bold here, and of course, it's always unknown whether or not you're going to get what you think you're going to get. Like, I'm hoping to get at least 2 more 3s. That would be nice. It's very unlikely, but let's have a look if that's the case. Oh my god, I've picked up 2 more 3s, and that is great because I spent 30 energy in order to do this version of it. At this stage, because I can't go any higher than I am right now, I'm going to go straight to the boss and defeat because I'm happy with my extent of cards and or champions and squad setup. So therefore, I need to go and finish the end boss and lock in my points. Give me the points, baby. But the main point about this tip is as soon as you understand your suits and of course setup, and of course if you're a fan of poker, Balatro, and any kind of like poker-based game, then you've probably understood the points take home to suits, pair-ups, you know, Royal Flush, 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 2 pair, or what Kabam kind of confirmed this to be like, you know, how they structure their points, like Lone Wolf. You know, they can't really use this poker terms because it does imply gambling, and they want to kind of move away from that. But it's kind of like, it's a squad builder. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. So tip number 2 is understanding this is a gambling element to it. Sort of. There are some gambling elements that Kabam kind of, you know, it does concern me what they could do with the future with the game mode like this. But as well, there are some things that are just, we know we should be kind of getting on with. And those are going to be some objectives. So you did see pop up 1 or 2 objectives, and as you go on through the month, it's highly likely you'll get some of these, like Triple Threat, Kingmaker Squad, Super Suit Squad. I'm sure you will pick up some of those combinations, and of course it's just down to good strategy. But yes, the fact is this is a gamble or gambling based event, or kind of like gambling connotations with it, because if it wasn't cards and it's obviously treated as champions, it would be considered as like a gambling type event. There is of course the big gamble with a lot of things in this particular game mode. So as long as you understand that and you're not, you know, frustrated or annoyed by it, I think you'll have a good understanding of RNG, because it is very much RNG, and I can't actually get enough of this. I actually really enjoy this particular mode. You're probably going to see me have like footage on here of like taking gambles with my setups and finding that I'm actually drawing some of the combinations that I actually need. Like I think it was like drew an extra like couple of 3s when I was meant to get myself the completion of what I don't think it was like a fantastic, but it was definitely like a captain's ordeal or something. A captain's order, sorry. That was what I picked up. I mean, you just do not know what you could pick up. Like if I go, okay, well, I'll swap out those 2 there and hope to get myself 2 more of the same particular suit. And unfortunately, it doesn't really go according to plan. But then that's it. That's gambling. Tip number 3 is all about energy costs. There is this situation of like here, I've spent 30 energy in order to access and try and find the best situation out of this, best suit, best points. Sometimes it doesn't always work, which you can see right here. So you're presented with 2 options, spending in standard or spending in Energize. Energize 30 energy spent to 10 energy spent. And on screen right now, you're going to see what 30 energy spend can have if things go well. So first of all, again, you identify what your suit selection, what you're trying to create from it. You can see I'm on Lone Wolf at the moment. and I'm like, okay, well, I want to switch out or try and do 2 switch out, which I'm doing right now. That switches out, and I get a little bit lucky with one of the suits being creating an odd one out. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll swap out another one, which you can see swapping out that Nick Fury. And of course, do I get lucky? Well, it wouldn't be my channel if there wasn't a bit of luck. There you go. There's the luck right there. Faction reaction has been activated. And of course, that is very helpful. And so I'm like, right, well, I'm committing to the boss for that one because, well, it was the last fight, so I had to do it in any case. And yeah, getting the W for that one, of course, means I'm going to get some points for my trouble, tripled up because I did the 30 energy. But for any non-spending player, this does of course create a problem because how you farm the extent of energy is down to, I think, close to about 60 energy per hour, or 10 energy per hour, because it's 6 minutes, isn't it? Something like that. I don't know if it's limited down. We'll have to see as the timer kind of goes down for it. But say if you are getting, it's basically you're able to do a round an hour. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Do around an hour on that one. And that's, of course, not great if you're a non-spending player versus a spending player that's able to have access to the Summoner Sigil, with the Summoner Sigil being that kind of little boost up for a lot of players in the amount of energy they can get. So you've got to have those advantages first off in order to get, get more points easily. So it's a big gamble if that 30 energy spend does not come off the way you want. And I would recommend to any player to, if you're comfortable and confident, definitely go for the 30 energy. But if you're not and you want to play more games at the 10 energy, then do that. If you want to save your time, try the 30 energy. But again, it implies that you've got to have that 30 energy to begin with. Number one. Number two, you got to make it worth it. You really got to make it worth it each and individual time. But I think it's more of a time saver than anything for that 30 energy spend for Energized. I probably will do Energized a lot more, but I'll do it once I have 30 energy, because what it does is, as we said, it saves time. It's like the equivalent to 3 hours worth of free energy being farmed and then utilizing it and seeing if you get Lone Wolf, like, you get it times 3. So it's like doing 3 entries in any case. Fingers crossed that you get something good when you go in there. I've had some good luck with a couple of runs that I've done in there. The last run I did in there was not a good one, but it's RNG, baby. Next up is points farming. Farming points in this mode can either be like really easy to a lot of people or a little bit of a ball ache. I've had some really good experiences and some things that have gone my way, but as we said, if you draw well, you draw well. If you don't draw well, then you get ultimately screwed as a result. Getting up to 10k can be done in an hour, it could be done in 1 day. And that does depend on certain factors. That certain factors are, do you have any spare energy refills or full energy refills that you can use in here? Do you have a bunch of units in order to go deep in the acquisition-based method of energy refills being bought for 30 units per time, being reinvested into this? And yes, that's something I would say if you want to go into Arena, grab some units. Your Super Daily gives 30 units per day, which means you can be investing that back into this event. And a full energy refill is either going to be, well, it's going to be 7, let's say, 6 to 7 entries into the standard, or of course 2 entries into the Energize and 1 standard entry, if you've got up to 70 energy that you could use. And let me finish off with ranked. Okay, so one of my top tips with this is, if you're non-spending, you're a free-to-play player, do not think you can be number 1, right? There is going to be an issue. You may not see it now. You may not see it in a week's time, but you'll probably see it when the results start coming in. If a spending player, I mean, look, if you are a non-spending player with a ton of units and you want to invest into this event, go do it. But if you look at it from a perspective of every week, you have to be in the top 50%, and these points, which you can see here, depending on where you finish on different spectrums of things, are where the more points are. Being realistic, you might be down here, which will give you, I don't know, an extra 1 point, which of course you need to do 4 weeks. 4 points over the course of the time frame. Will that actually get you anything? Well, the quick answer is no, but let's have a look at the workings of it. So the more points you get, the more you can go up. You need a total of 135 points. Now that event needs to run for a certain length of time in order to get something good from it. Even more so if we're looking then at getting high evolutionary. It's pretty tough because people will go mad for this. The same way that they did arena back in the early days. There will be people out there that will be dedicating a lot of time and effort to doing this particular mode. And okay, if you've got the time and effort for it, but be realistic. As long as you can factor into the top 20%, if you get 4 points overall from all of this, what will that see you get? Well, it will probably see you past here, which is a rank 1 to 2 7-star gem, which of course is quite nice if you're able to get it. But it is difficult to get because it'd be very grindy. It will cost you a lot of units. It will cost you a lot of energy refills. But of course, it could cost some players a lot of money. And trying to compete with that is not always easy. So be realistic, I think, is the final kind of tip and notice point with that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. That has been it. We're all done. See you in the next one. Check out some other content and bye-bye for now.